Study the science of art. Study the art of science. Develop your senses, especially learn how to see. Realize that everything connects to everything else. While I thought that I was learning how to live, I have been learning how to die. Time stays long enough for anyone who will use it. Those who do not appreciate the beauty of a simple flower do not understand what truly makes life wonderful. The noblest pleasure is the joy of understanding. The human mind is like an unfinished statue, it stands on a block of marble, and the task of the sculptor is to develop it. The greatest deception men suffer is from their own opinions. The function of muscle is to pull and not to push, except in the case of the genitals and the tongue. Painting is poetry that is seen rather than felt, and poetry is painting that is felt rather than seen. Nothing strengthens authority so much as silence. Nature never breaks her own laws. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Being willing is not enough, we must do. Iron rusts from disuse, stagnant water loses its purity. I love those who can smile in trouble, who can gather strength from distress, and grow brave by reflection. 'Tis the business of little minds to shrink, but they whose heart is firm, and whose conscience approves their conduct, will pursue their principles unto death. He who loves practice without theory is like a sailor who boards a ship without a rudder and knows not whither he is to go. Every great thing is simple and every simple thing is great. Every artist dips his brush in his own soul, and paints his own nature into his pictures. Art is never finished, only abandoned. Doubt is pain that forces us to think. Water is the driving force of all nature. There are three classes of people: those who see when they are shown, those who do not see. The beginnings and ends of shadow lie between the light and darkness and may be infinitely diminished and infinitely increased. Shadow is the means by which bodies display their form. The forms of bodies could not be understood in detail but for shadow. Study without desire spoils the memory, and it retains nothing that it takes in. Science is the captain, and practice the soldiers. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Painting is concerned with all the 10 attributes of sight, which are darkness, light, solidity and color, form and position, distance and propinquity, motion and rest. Nature is the source of all true knowledge. She has her own logic, her own laws, she has no effect without cause nor invention without necessity. Men of lofty genius sometimes accomplish the most when they work least, for their minds are occupied with their ideas and the perfection of their conceptions, to which they afterwards give form. Medicine is the restoration of discordant elements, sickness is the discord of the elements infused into the living body. Marriage is like putting your hand into a bag of snakes in the hope of pulling out an eel. In rivers, the water that you touch is the last of what has passed and the first of that which comes, so with present time. I have offended God and mankind because my work didn't reach the quality it should have. I have been impressed with the urgency of doing. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Being willing is not enough, we must do. Human subtlety will never devise an invention more beautiful, more simple or more direct than does nature, because in her inventions nothing is lacking, and nothing is superfluous. He who wishes to be rich in a day will be hanged in a year. Experience never errs, it is only your judgments that err by promising themselves effects such as are not caused by your experiments. Common sense is that which judges the things given to it by other senses. All knowledge which ends in words will die as quickly as it came to life, with the exception of the written word, which is its mechanical part. Anyone who conducts an argument by appealing to authority is not using his intelligence, he is just using his memory.